This is what will truly happen to your body when you do 50 squats every day. Unfortunately, nowadays, many people still believe that they need 1001 techniques and endless hours in the gym to see concrete results. Fortunately, this belief is far from being an indisputable fact. In reality, in various aspects of the fitness world, the popular saying "less is more" is evident. And it is precisely for this reason that the squat is considered the king of exercises. This compound movement involves virtually the entire body, promoting impressive effects in terms of strength, endurance, and overall health. Therefore, in this video, we will show you 10 benefits that your body will experience by making squats a daily habit. And of course, we will also teach you how to intensify this movement and the mistakes you need to avoid in order not to have problems with your knees or your back. But before we begin, please tell us in the comments your name and the city from which you are watching. Benefit number 10. It promotes a greater hormonal balance and stimulates the production of testosterone. One of the most remarkable effects of doing squats daily is the direct impact on testosterone production. When you perform this exercise frequently, your body releases more anabolic hormones to meet the demand generated by the intense stimulus, which translates into greater muscle growth, more strength, and better recovery. With adequate levels of testosterone, you not only experience aesthetic gains, but also an improvement in your daily energy and the ability to face more challenging training routines. Moreover, testosterone helps control body composition by encouraging the more efficient use of fat reserves. This creates a dual effect. You build muscle and, at the same time, reduce the excessive accumulation of fat. Finally, the hormonal balance provided by squats impacts aspects such as motivation and focus. With stable testosterone levels, it becomes easier to maintain discipline in your training and diet, as the feeling of energy and determination tends to increase. Benefit number 9. Improvement of circulation. Daily squats effectively stimulate the cardiovascular system, as the repeated movement of flexion and extension of the legs demands a greater supply of blood, oxygen, and nutrients. Over time, this habit contributes to strengthening the heart and making the blood vessels more flexible, helping to regulate blood pressure and prevent problems such as varicose veins and swelling. This improvement in circulation makes a difference in your daily routine, as your body starts to have more energy for simple tasks like climbing stairs or walking for prolonged periods. In addition, a more actively circulating blood system removes toxins and metabolic waste more efficiently, speeding up post-workout recovery and reducing the feeling of muscle fatigue. For those who sit for very long periods, such as office workers, squats also help alleviate the sensation of heavy legs by promoting a more effective venous return. In the long run, maintaining optimized blood flow is essential for overall health, as it ensures the proper functioning of organs and tissues. You will feel more energy, greater endurance, and also prevent potential cardiovascular complications. Benefit number 8. It improves joint health. Although many are afraid of overloading the knees, daily squats, when performed correctly, can be a great ally for the joints. They strengthen fundamental structures, such as ligaments and tendons, and stimulate internal lubrication, as the movement of flexion and extension helps better distribute nutrients within the cartilage. A study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research indicated that regular squat practitioners had up to 20% less risk of chronic knee pain compared to non-practitioners. In addition to enhancing stability and mobility, the strengthening of the muscles surrounding the joints acts as a natural shock absorber, reducing the direct pressure on these areas. This prevents common injuries such as tendinitis and bursitis, which often arise from muscle imbalances or from improperly directed excessive load. In the long term, investing in daily squats means experiencing more comfort when intensifying workouts and performing routine activities, such as climbing stairs or carrying heavy objects. Therefore, contrary to what many imagine, squats are not the enemy of the joints. On the contrary, they can be a powerful tool to protect the knees, ankles, and hips, ensuring greater longevity in sports and a higher quality of life in everyday activities. Benefit number 7. Strengthening of the bones. Squats also play a fundamental role in strengthening the skeletal system, something extremely important as we age. This exercise creates a natural overload stimulus on the bones, leading the body to increase bone mineral density to support the pressure. This process occurs in a manner similar to muscle mass gain. The more you expose your bones to the proper stimuli, the greater the reinforcement of internal structures will be. For older adults, this advantage is invaluable, as it significantly reduces the risk of osteopenia and osteoporosis, diseases that make the bones fragile and prone to fractures. Even for younger individuals, starting early to strengthen bone tissue can translate into long-term protection, ensuring a better quality of life in the future. Furthermore, bone strengthening is not limited solely to long-term benefits. Stronger bones also represent greater stability during workouts and activities that require jumping, running, or sudden changes in direction. Along with strengthened muscles, this factor forms a solid foundation for the body to handle progressive loads and reduce the risk of injuries. Benefit number 6. High calorie burn and cardiovascular improvement. Squats not only strengthen your muscles, but they also speed up your metabolism, favoring an impressive calorie burn. When performed intensely, this exercise recruits multiple muscle groups at the same time, demanding a higher energy expenditure than isolated movements. As a compound exercise, your body needs to supply oxygen and nutrients more broadly, which makes your heart beat more vigorously and your lungs work at full capacity. This increased stimulus also improves cardiovascular capacity, helping the body better handle prolonged efforts and recover more quickly between training sets. Over time, you may notice gains in endurance, stamina, and overall conditioning, making activities such as running, cycling, or even walking more enjoyable and efficient. Before we continue to benefit number 5, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, because in times when many spread rubbish on the internet in exchange for money, having constant access to correct science-based information is what will help you progress in the long term in the world of bodybuilding. Benefit number 5, increase in muscle mass. The squat is often called the king of exercises because it involves several muscle groups, especially those of the legs and glutes, while also requiring stabilization from other parts of the body. This extensive muscle recruitment creates micro-lesions that, when repaired, result in lean muscle gain. Additionally, the release of anabolic hormones during squats enhances muscle development not only in the lower limbs, but also in other regions that support the movement. Another important point is that the increase in muscle mass causes the body to burn more calories at rest, as muscle tissue requires more energy to maintain than fat tissue. Thus, even after the workout, your metabolism remains accelerated, which contributes to definition and the maintenance of a healthy weight. It is worth remembering that progression in the load and the method of execution of squats stimulates constant adaptations in the muscles, keeping them in permanent growth. Finally, this gain is not limited solely to aesthetics. More muscle mass means a greater capacity to perform daily activities without excessive fatigue, as well as improved posture and reduced risk of injuries. Benefit number 4, release of neurotransmitters that provide a sense of happiness and well-being. The daily practice of squats influences not only the body but also the mind. During the execution of the exercise, the body produces and releases neurotransmitters such as endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin, substances directly related to the feeling of pleasure and well-being. These happy hormones play a fundamental role in relieving stress, controlling anxiety, and even improving mood in general. With the increase of these substances in the central nervous system, it becomes easier to face the challenges of daily life, keeping focus and energy high. Endorphins, for example, function as natural painkillers, reducing the perception of pain and providing a prolonged feeling of well-being after the workout. Dopamine contributes to the sense of reward, reinforcing positive behaviors and helping to maintain the motivation to keep training. This package of positive effects not only impacts sporting life, but also work routines, studies, and social interactions. People who exercise regularly tend to report higher levels of energy and emotional balance, which can translate into healthier relationships and increased productivity. Benefit number 3, strengthening of the core. Although the squat is best known for working the legs and glutes, it also has a great impact on strengthening the core, the central region of your body that encompasses the abdomen, lower back, and the stabilizing muscles of the spine. To maintain the correct posture during the movement, the body constantly activates these muscles, which act like an internal belt, stabilizing the spine and protecting against imbalances. Over time, this work produces a visible improvement in abdominal strength and lumbar support. The spine begins to handle loads and impacts more effectively, reducing the chances of pain and injuries in the back region. Moreover, a strengthened core contributes to a more upright posture when walking, sitting, and performing common tasks. preventing muscle tensions resulting from incorrect positions. Another significant advantage is that by stabilizing the center of the body, squats enhance the efficiency of other exercises, as they establish a solid base for movements that involve pushing, pulling, or lifting weights. In this way, you can progress in various modalities with greater safety and performance. Benefit number 2, improvement of mobility and flexibility. With the constant practice of squats, the range of motion of the hip, knee, and ankle joints tends to gradually increase. This gain in mobility is crucial for performing everyday tasks more easily, such as bending down to pick something up from the floor or carrying heavy objects without excessively straining your back. In addition, the act of going down and coming up requires that important muscle groups be both stretched and strengthened at the same time. One of the main benefits of working on flexibility through squats is the reduction of muscle shortening that can cause pain and limit sports performance. When you descend into a squat in a controlled manner, you are promoting a dynamic stretch in the hamstrings and the lower back, preparing the body for other physical efforts. This continuous improvement in flexibility can increase your ability to perform more complex movements in sports and even in daily activities. Overall, the mobility generated by squats makes the body more functional and resilient, as each joint starts to operate within an ideal range of motion. This translates into less wear on the joints, a lower risk of injuries, and greater efficiency in athletic movements. Benefit number 1, increase in endurance. Daily squats also promote a remarkable increase in muscular endurance, an essential factor for those who wish to perform prolonged activities, whether in training or in daily life. By repeating the movement day after day, the muscles adapt to greater and greater efforts, becoming capable of sustaining loads for longer periods without experiencing premature fatigue. This evolution is reflected in the ability to maintain repetitions with good execution quality, improving both the efficiency and the safety of the exercise. Furthermore, when muscular endurance increases, other sporting activities are also benefited. Sports that involve running, jumping, or rapid changes in direction become easier to perform since the legs gain greater robustness to support the effort. Even climbing stairs or walking long distances become less exhausting, as the body learns to manage energy demands more effectively. This gain in endurance allows the workout to remain effective and free from sudden performance drops, as the muscles are able to continue working without depleting their reserves so quickly. With a solid base of endurance, it is possible to progress to higher intensities, greater loads, and variations of squats that challenge the body even further. Now that you have more than enough reasons to start practicing daily squats, it is important to know how to perform them correctly, because there are mistakes that can waste your effort, and worse, even cause problems in your back or knees. The first step is to adjust the positioning of your feet, which should be parallel and aligned with the width of your shoulders or slightly wider, according to your preference and comfort. Keep your torso upright, engaging your abdomen to stabilize your spine. This helps to avoid excessive forward tilting of the chest. On the descent, bend your knees and hips simultaneously, as if you were sitting in an imaginary chair. Make sure that your knees remain aligned with the tips of your feet, without caving in or out. Lower yourself as far as your mobility allows, without forcing beyond your limit. Keep your weight distributed between the midfoot and the heel, avoiding pressure concentration on the toes. On the ascent, push the ground forcefully, extending your knees and hips at the same time, while keeping your abdomen firm until you return to the starting position. Some common mistakes include rounding the lower back, lifting the heels, or excessively thrusting the hips backward, which can compromise the stability and safety of the movement. To intensify your workout, it is possible to add load with barbells, dumbbells, or kettlebells, always respecting your capacity and without sacrificing form. Variations such as the front squat, sumo squat, or squat with jump are also great for stimulating different muscle angles and avoiding stagnation. Regardless of the variation chosen, the key to progress is to maintain impeccable technique, gradually increasing the challenge and ensuring that each repetition is executed with quality. And if, besides the legs, you want to strengthen your entire body but do not have much time to stay in the gym, we are now showing on the screen a video demonstrating the best exercise you can do for each muscle group, so you can optimize your workout to the maximum. Thank you for watching until here, and may God bless you, my friend.